My colleague Baker Machado was joined last week by Verizon CEO and Chairman Hans Vestberg, who told us all about his work on closing the digital divide that the coronavirus pandemic made so painfully clear. Let's take a listen.
So the Edison Alliance is, of course, as we saw this leapfrog in our society, I have been for 10, 15 years fighting for seeing that each and everyone on this planet have access and connectivity, because that makes equality much better. Not only that, it actually is the most sustainable growth to have mobility, broadband and cloud services. So in discussion with the World Economic Forum, which I would say is one of the biggest or best platforms in the world of multi-sector, private and public partnerships, we have launched the Edison Alliance, which is, we have people from all sectors, we have private, public, and what we're trying to do is, of course, seeing that we're scaling now mobility, broadband and cloud and services for each and everyone on this planet. We are focusing initially on education, healthcare, and financial inclusion. And much thoughts are, of course, that it comes from the Sustainable Development Goals, where everybody should have the equal chance. The underlying infrastructure for that is, of course, mobility, broadband, and cloud. So that's what we're driving with the World Economic Forum. It's a multi-year program together with all the initiatives that are ongoing around the world, seeing that we can scale them and bring them to all parts of this world, to each and every individual in the world. It's a grand task, but as we have leapfrog right now with digital inclusion, and we don't want to increase the digital divide right now, because if you're not having access, you're outside. We just need to decrease that and see that this is the most sustainable and equitable infrastructure that we can deploy, and also the fastest we can deploy to get that situation.
Yeah, let's go into detail a little bit more about that, Hans, because you mentioned the digital divide here. I mean, it showed really, it helped a lot of us through the pandemic. Technology, it also helped you guys as well, but it really showcased the big divide in this country of who has it and who doesn't. How is Edison Alliance going to work to really close that gap here?
So you're right. I mean, this leapfrog of usage, of course, open up the digital divide that we didn't have seen before. So what we need to work right now is a three-pronged strategy. It's the accessibility to broadband. Actually, you have broadband, but it's also the affordability of the broadband. And ultimately, it's sort of the usability of the broadband and the application on top of it. So you actually need to work in public and private. Of course, here in the US, all the broadbands are basically deployed mainly by private money. There are some ideas in the infra bill, but ultimately the carriers here in the US are building it out as fast as we can. And I have to say, if you think about the COVID situation we've had, the networks in this nation have stand up fantastically well compared to many other parts of the world. So accessibility is one. Affordability is also. We just need to see that everybody can afford it and get the good service. Seeing that the low-income families and the most marginalized have a chance to get it. And finally, the usability. We need applications for remote learning, for telehealth, etc., that is working on this as well. So you need to have the full chain, and that's why you need this type of collaboration. And that's what we're doing on the Edison Alliance, which is a global work that we're doing for all markets in the world. But of course, we're working here locally in the United States as well, together with government and different industries, to see that the same is happening here. So that's what we're doing.
Hans, let's switch gears and let's talk about 5G here for a moment, because obviously this is going to be the next big technological advancement in this country. You guys are doing a lot of investment in 5G. What does the future of 5G look like to you?
The future is going very fast right now, and sometimes we don't realize that the 5G rollout and the uptake of consumers, for example, on 5G is faster than what we saw when 4G came. It's just that you never realize that when you sit there. But clearly, we expect that more than 50% of the consumers, or 55% of the consumers in 3 years from now will have a 5G phone. And of course, we're rolling out very quickly consumer solutions for a mobility case, but also for broadband, the 5G home applications that we're now rolling out. And we have already rolled that out in more than 30 cities, where we can actually have broadband to the home, which is much quicker and more efficient than many other solutions for home home broadband. And then we have the last of application, which is basically mobile edge compute. That's where we bring the compute and storage to the edge of the network for low latency applications for enterprises. We do that together with Amazon, and we do it together with Microsoft. So all that is now coming, and we are investing almost our guidance for this year is, let's say, around $18 billion in capex this year, 7.5 to 18.5 billion is the guidance. And then on top of that, we're investing over 3 years an additional 10 billion to roll out the C-band spectrum that we bought recently, which is, of course, a very good coverage layer for 5G. So a lot ongoing. The uptake is starting to happen as devices with 5G capabilities are coming out. And of course, the Apple phone coming out late last year was a very important 5G moment, because that's where really a lot of the Americans that are using iPhone can go to 5G. So I expect a lot to happen in the year of 2021 on 5G.
Hans, I have time for one more question here with you. Obviously, we're going to be at this big inflection point starting this summer. We potentially might have most, if not a majority of the Americans vaccinated by this summer. Potentially herd immunity might be reached at that point. Most economists believe the economy is going to start humming here very soon as well. So what are you looking forward to most in the second half of this year?
I think that as many else in this society, you're looking to get together with your friends. I'm actually looking forward to be together with my employees, being in the stores. We talk a lot about work from home, but we need to realize in our society there's so many people that has been in the field all the time, like our store employees, our field engineers installing. So I'm looking forward to be together with those people, be together with my colleagues at work and my friends and family. Things that we did before the COVID-19 in a total different way. That's what I'm looking forward to, and that is giving me a lot of gratitude and a lot of positive energy, and we all need that in times when we've been home or been isolated for quite a long time.
That was Verizon CEO and Chairman Hans Vestberg. Also an uplifting story. Make sure to watch the whole interview at cheddar.com. Verizon announcing today that 100 million customers will have access to 5G ultra wideband service using C-band spectrum by end of the first quarter of 2022. The company has tapped Ericsson and Samsung to supply radio access network equipment for its C-band deployment.